We've looked at how we can implement it for My Healthy Living. How can we actually implement it for the clinics and break it down into your 30, 60 and 90 days? So for you, the action steps are: look at the data. What data are you collecting? Where is that data actually being collected? Is it still a paper-based system, or is there something else that you are using? Do you have permission to contact them as well? Most people haven't collected opt-in information, and you need to be making sure that you are collecting this opt-in. And what methods of communication do they want to be receiving? Is it an SMS or is it an email? Next thing to review is all of the messages. What content do you actually have within the clinic, and what content do you need to create to make sure that you are communicating at every single stage within that life cycle? And then the tools. What tools do you actually have? Do you still have an Excel spreadsheet, or is there a system that you do have that everyone can access no matter where? And then learnings. Make sure that you are looking at any messages that you are sending out, that you're talking to the patients to make sure that anything that you're doing, you're getting feedback on and you are constantly learning about it. What are the 60-day actions? And again, data is key. What is the plan and what data is missing from the current data that you do have for your patients? So make sure that you are adding that to the ways that you capture your existing and your potential patient information. And how will the new data be used? Make sure that you are only collecting data that you will use. So number 2 is message. Make sure that you, once you've reviewed all the content that the clinic does have, how do you actually plan that out? At what stage and when do you send out those communications? So this is really a really important stage, because this is where you'll need to get the feedback based on what questions the potential patients are asking at the information sessions versus what the patients are asking at their first adjustment session. All of this content is key, but does need to be mapped out properly. And the tools. So once you've actually done your review and you've looked at what tools you're using, how do you plan to implement them? And what are the tools that you can actually be using to enhance the experience of your potential and your existing patients? And then learnings. So again, look at what stages throughout the process you do want to be learning about, and what are the key milestones or the key benchmarks that you should be looking for. The last one is the 90 days and the 90-day implementation. So this is where, after you've done the reviewing, you've done the planning in the 60 days, the last 90 days is really about that implementation. So with data, it's about implementing and making sure that you are capturing that data. It's about making sure that you have implemented a routine where you check the data on a regular basis. Every time someone comes in, every time someone picks up the phone, you are checking that data. The message. Implement any additional touch points that you've outlined or that you have actually planned for in that life cycle process. Also make sure that you are implementing any messages that are for new patients, existing patients or potential patients. So all those messages do need to be considered. The tools. So you've done the review, you've done the planning, start to implement them. They shouldn't take too long to implement, and any of the companies that you do choose should help you implement those tools into your clinics. And then the learnings. So again, after you've implemented, look at the results after the first week, the first 2 weeks, and see if there is anything that does need to be tweaked. Make sure that you do include a review of these reports into regular practice, procedure, and management. So on a monthly basis that you are looking at what is happening, very similar to how you are looking at Google Analytics for your website stats. So just in summary, what are the key takeouts for you is that this is a continual process, and as you can see from the 30, the 60 and the 90 days, it is all about making sure that you review, that you plan, and then you implement. And that is constantly happening, and it should not be something that you do set and forget. So for you, make sure you review, you plan, and then you implement. It's just look at what you've got, plan for what you need to do, and then start to implement it. So if you do have any additional information, please make sure you do call or contact your Allergan technical consultant, and please start reviewing what you're doing now so that you can enhance everything and every touch that you do have with your patients. Thanks very much.